There's my little love bug. Oh, who wants a belly rub? Who wants a belly rub? Oh, Skittles. Yes, you do. I knew you wouldn't turn it down. Yes, you do. Okay. First off, what is vitamin D? Vitamin D is unique in the aspect that it's the only vitamin that our bodies naturally produce when our skin is exposed to sunlight. All of our other vitamins we have to get through nutrition, through our diets. Why is vitamin D important? It's because vitamin D manages all of the calcium in our body. So if we have vitamin D deficiency, then we may not be absorbing as much calcium, and that can lead to a whole host of issues within our body. So how do we get vitamin D? So the first way, the main way, and the best way, which I mentioned earlier, is through skin exposure. The second way is through food. The third way is supplementation. So now the question of how did I become vitamin D deficient? So to give a little bit of background in my history, I grew up in Florida. I lived there from when I was 6 years old to when I was 14. And Florida, of course, is known as the Sunshine State. And I was a outdoor tomboy. I was always playing outside, exploring the woods, playing in the backyard, climbing trees. I would always be, during the summer I would go to the beach. And plus that was before I became vegan. So I was drinking a lot of milk, in schools they give you those little cartons. I was having that twice a day, breakfast and lunch. And a bunch of other foods. Then when I was 14 years old, my mom and I moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And even though Florida is the Sunshine State, Santa Fe has a lot of sunny days. I think I read it was 300 plus sunny days a year. And unfortunately, when I got older, I stopped playing outside as much. I wanted to be indoors, playing on the computer or something. And then, of course, when I started working, I was indoors most of the day. I had office jobs. I worked in a bank. So I would basically, get into my car, go to work, be at work all day. I would go work out, but I would work out indoors. I would go to gym classes at my gym. And then I'd come back to work, drive home, have dinner, watch some TV, walk my dogs, but by that time it was dark and I wasn't getting adequate sun exposure. On the weekends, I like to hike and camp and do certain things. I was getting a little bit more exposure to the sun. Recently, in the last 3 months, I moved from Santa Fe, New Mexico to Eugene, Oregon, which it's been very sunny actually through the summer. I wasn't sure what to expect with the weather here. I'd never been here before. And for the last few days, it's actually been raining every day, off and on all day. Very cloudy, not much sun at all. Today's actually been a nice day and I went out and got a little bit of sun. So I became vegan about 3 years ago. Love the lifestyle, not going back. But I started to feel very, extremely in my bones fatigued, where I couldn't get out of bed some days. And this is when I'd already quit my job at the bank, so I was at home most of the time now. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't get off the couch. My only job really for a long time was just to clean the house, and I couldn't even do that. I couldn't get up. And at that time I didn't have insurance when I quit my job, so I didn't find out what was wrong until recently when I got insurance again. And now in Eugene, I found a wonderful plant-based doctor who did blood tests for me. He listened to me, was very thorough. He said 3 things that can usually make you tired is if you're deficient in iron or B12 or vitamin D. So I take a B12 spray. Luckily, I guess my body's absorbing that. I don't need to get shots. And then my iron was good. So I just got the test results a few days ago, and he told me I was really extremely low in vitamin D. I'm talking on the scale, I don't know what the measurements are, it's between 30 and 50. I was at a 9. Couldn't believe it. So he had to prescribe me supplements at 50,000 international units, and I take one supplement once a week for the next 2 months until I build back my vitamin D. And then I can go to over the counter and kind of decrease how much I'm taking. You know, I know it's fall now, it's gonna be winter soon. So I'm going to make myself, there's no excuse, be outdoors more, catch the sun whenever it's out. So a few other another symptom I was having besides fatigue was I was starting to feel depressed. And I never considered myself depressed. I'd never been diagnosed, but I felt just very sad, very anxious, very hopeless. And that's not like me. I'm typically a very happy, positive person. And I would just be snapping at my husband over the littlest things. He would ask me what's wrong, and I'd be like, I don't know, and I would just feel down. And my doctor said that that's another symptom of vitamin D deficiency, is you can start to become depressed. So I'm really happy that I found out what was wrong before I really started to spiral down and get very depressed. So anyways, I've been on the supplement for 2 days now, and I already feel a world of difference. I feel like it's night and day. Even when it's cloudy and it's raining outside, I feel like I can see the sunlight. I feel the sunshine. The clouds have parted in my mind anyways. I feel so much better. Oh, and another thing was, a friend had told me a while back that if you're craving a certain food, there's probably something in that food that's making you, or something that your body needs. And for the last few months, I've been craving nothing but mac and cheese and ice cream. And I think it's my body thinking that, you know, the way I used to eat, where there was dairy and mac and cheese and ice cream, but now I have my own mac and cheese version that I make at home that's vegan, and I also found some great ice cream. So that was not helping with my weight, actually. It really was detrimental to my weight loss, but that I'll talk about in another video. Anyways, I really hope this information helps some of you out there if you are feeling extremely fatigued. I would say, you know, it could be vitamin D, it could be iron or B12, it could be anything really, but if you're feeling like something's wrong, I definitely encourage you to go to the doctor. It doesn't have to be a plant-based doctor, any doctor, and get lab tests. I did go to a regular doctor before the plant-based one, just like a few weeks, just for a physical, and they drew my blood and they did the lab tests, but they didn't tell me what they were testing for. And I did express my concerns with my fatigue, but they just called me back and left me a voicemail saying that everything was normal. I'm like, I don't know what normal is. I don't even know what you're tested for. So make sure to be specify that you want your iron, vitamin D, B12, whatever it is, you want that tested. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up for my first video. If you have any questions for me, leave below. And I will be making a lot more videos, so hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye!